Hey there, it's Douglas with The Growth Collective. Are you dreaming of starting a real estate business but think you need a lot of money to get going? Guess what? You don't. In this video, I'm sharing my personal journey of launching a real estate business from scratch with no money in the bank. Stick around and I'll show you how to take your first steps toward real estate success. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of deal makers. It's totally free. All right, let's jump in. When we started in the business in 2014, and I didn't know Rich yet, but I got to know him probably a couple years after that. I was working full time, yes, but outside of real estate, it was not real estate, right? It was not real estate agency or investment or anything like that. And realistically, we had no money to invest into real estate. We had already put out 30 grand into a coaching group program. That was our starting point. We paid 30 grand before we got any dollar back. Okay. And we also agreed to hire a virtual assistant who happens to be one of the guys still with us to this day. Mo has been with us since basically the beginning. And then we also got, which cost money, but it wasn't a lot of money, but we got him about 2 weeks into the business. We filed, certificate information and got the bank account. Like we paid money for all that stuff, whatever it was. And then we effectively went, and did marketing. We spent money that we didn't have. We used credit cards, even though I was gainfully employed, to do marketing to get sellers who didn't want to sell their property to want to buy it, basically. And we did that for probably about 4 to 6 months until, we got some people interested, but we didn't know enough at the time to know what a great deal was. So realistically, the contracts that we had on property, I didn't know enough to know that they weren't really good deals. I was still learning. And so I would create networks and I talked to people and all this and that, but nothing actually closed in our business for like the first 6 months. And so again, we're now into the business for 6 months. My time, if you value that at whatever number, plus about $50,000, that's how we started our business. And now fast forward 10 years later, and it's not to boast or brag, just to inspire you guys, like multiple 7 figures of revenues across the businesses across the past decade. So I know it's tough because it's like, well, we're not seeing what we think we're going to get, but it's like, don't get discouraged. I know it's very easy to do that. It's also a matter of making sure that you're not investing into the wrong strategies or the wrong things. And so I'm sure Rich can touch upon this tonight too. Like make sure that if something's not working, don't keep doing it, right? If it's not working, don't keep doing it over and over. Just change, pivot, move in the next thing. So if finding deals isn't working, then maybe that's not what you're called to do. Maybe it's analyzing. Maybe it's working with somebody who already gets deals and figuring out a way to analyze the deal better, or do something that you can bring a connection of an investor, right? Maybe it's like we did, flip away from acquisitions and move towards the dispositions on the wholesale side, getting into taking the contract, going into joint venture with somebody who already has a deal under contract and just flipping it to somebody else that wants to buy the deal. That's exactly what we did on our first deal. And we've done it hundreds of times since then, right? So that's what I would say right off the bat. And like I've told you, Wendy, and I've told the group, just to remind you on this, not to, keep throwing it out there and say, come on, you got to listen. But it's like it starts with 5. Why do I say 5? Well, 5 people, 5 reliable, active cash investors. If you don't have at least 5 active cash investors, people that could be your buyer for a deal, people that could be your partner for a deal, people that could be your lender for a deal, and that are actively doing those things. This is the major limitation that most people in the beginning face. And so it's nothing else matters to me, and for you probably, if you're in this position, until you have the first 5 reliable. It might take 50 or 100 or 500 people to find the 5 that you need. But that's the hunt that you need to be on if you're in the beginning phases or you're trying to get your first deal done, is get the 5 reliable people that can legitimately close a deal with you or buy from you. And until you get there, I believe that it's not worth your time, effort, focus, anything to do much else besides that until you get to that point, because you don't have the capacity to feel knowing that you're going to say like, hey, for example, Steve, good example. Steve, if you know his buy box, like you said, you're going to find out. Now, Steve is your quote unquote partner. Steve is a person you can reach out to and say, hey, I have this deal that fits what you're looking for. Can we make a deal together? But like, if you don't have the Steve, you don't have the Rich, you don't have, Christian or Donna or somebody else, you don't know. Now it's like, I'm out there, like I was in the beginning, throwing lines in the water, catching what I think is a fish, but it's actually just some, trash in the pond, basically, hoping that it's going to be a fish. I had no idea because I'm not a fisherman. You know what I mean? But if I go stand next to the expert fisherman who's in the same pond fishing for the same things, I'm like, hey, let me help you do that. I'll hold the box. I'll go roll the line up. I'll throw the line into the water for you. I'll reel it in. I'll do all the hard work, helping you fish so that you can focus on where's the next spot we should go fish from. That's an analogy of saying the fisherman is the investor that's going to be somebody you bring deals to. You're in the pond that they're already fishing in, trying to fish for the same deals. It's like, hey, let me handle some of that for you. I'm going to work this network, or I'm going to work that area in terms of investment deals for you, with you, whatever. You're bringing tangible value to the person who's the fisherman in that example, because now they can go to another pond, they can open another location to throw lines in the water. So that's it for today. Remember, starting a real estate business doesn't require deep pockets, just the right mindset, strategies, and people around you. If this video gave you value, give it a like and let me me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more tips on building your real estate empire. See you in the next one.